everybody, welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel, #MovieBae. I am MovieBae, and in this video, I'm going to be recapping episodes 1 and 2 of HBO Max's The Sex Life of College Girls. But before we get into that, I would like for y'all to drop down and hit the subscribe button. Thank you, because here on MovieBae, I do reviews, reactions, and commentary to movies and television. And if that's the type of content that you like, you might as well subscribe, right? Right. So before I get into the recap, I just kind of want to give my overall thoughts about the show. At first, first off, I love Mindy, just only simply because I'm a fan of The Office. And when I found out that she, wrote this show, I was intrigued. But the title threw me off because I'm not an over-sexual person. Like, I don't like sex scenes in movies are cringy. I don't like sex reality shows, everything that's about sex, relationships. It's very draining to me. So that's why I was like, I don't think I'm gonna watch this one. But when I went to go visit my homegirl, she put it on, and I was like, okay, they proved me wrong. So I was proved wrong because it wasn't just in your face over sexual. It was legit storylines. And of course, somehow sex and relationships are intertwined because that's life and they're in college on top of that. So yeah, I ended up liking the show. One thing that I do like about it as well is that this show is very, very, very diverse. Our four main characters are Kimberly, Leighton, Bella, and Whitney. So Whitney is a black girl. Bella is an Indian woman. Leighton and Kimberly are white, but they're like on different ends of the spectrum. Kimberly is more so small town, low income, and Leighton is the rich white girl who runs in elite circles and has everything handed to her, XYZ, right? So there's also a girl who is paraplegic on this show. There are lots of Asians, there's a Latina, and they're like real looking humans. Like, nobody's just like OMG fine. Like, everybody just looks really average. And I say that in the most respectable way possible because it's realistic. You know what I'm saying? All different types of body types, all different types of skin tones. So I really applaud them for that. That I've given my praises about the show. Let's go ahead and start this recap because that's what we're doing, right? In episode 1, obviously, it's the pilot episode. So we are going to be introduced to our castmates, and we're going to be introduced to their problems and how their worlds come crashing down. Because one thing about pilot episodes, about series in general, that first episode, you get everybody's background information, and it's somehow, some way, everything they knew life to be before comes to an end because you have to have your series have somewhere to go, right? So let's get into it. How I'm gonna do this is because we have 4 main characters and 4 different storylines. I'm going to go character by character, storyline by storyline. So first we have Kimberly. Kimberly is from small town Arizona, so her co-worker closet. And like I said before, Kimberly is a small town girl. She doesn't interact with a lot of different ethnicities, right? So because she's from a small town, they don't have a lot of money. She has to do work study. At her job, she has her 2 co-workers. One is a Latina, and I don't know her name. Yikes. And then we have Kenan, and I only know his name because he comes up in later episodes, and he's an African-American male, right? Kenan decides to trick Kimberly into thinking that his mom was a crackhead and he's come from low poverty, he's from the hood. And then he didn't even say, well, they didn't even reveal what he said about their other coworker, but I'm sure he gave her some stereotypical background story as well. Because Kimberly believes it all. So they kind of like laugh at her like, really? Like, you fell for that because small town, small minds. But they eventually all get along and they accept Kimberly into their gang because Kimberly sticks up for her co-workers after one rich guy throws his trash on the floor as Kenan is sweeping. So after that, after she goes off on him, she earns her co-workers respect. Kimberly also has a high school sweetheart who comes and sees her during that first weekend of college. They both lose their virginity to each other, and he ends up dumping her. When I tell you, I was like, okay, so when he came and we saw how like lame he was, I was like, she's gonna break up with him. Like that has to come to an end, because like I said earlier, everything has to come to an end for something else to begin. I didn't see it coming where he broke up with her. I was like, what the fuck? Get out of here. That was unexpected, because I definitely thought it was going to be the other way around. Next, we have Whitney. Whitney is the beautiful melanin queen. She is a senator's daughter, and she obviously gets neglected by her mom because her mom's a senator. We also find out that she is a bomb soccer player, and because of that, some of her teammates don't like her. But guess who does like her? Her coach. Yep. Whitney is having sex with the assistant coach. So like I said earlier, Whitney's teammates don't really like her that much. One in particular tries to damn near kill her on the soccer field and start a fight. And when the coach breaks it up, as a coach would do, she gets mad at him because it looks like he's playing favorites. Bitch, he's a coach, and you were losing that fight. You better be lucky he broke that shit up, okay? He eventually apologizes with a bouquet of Kit Kats. Inside joke, you had to see the episode to understand where that came from. And later that episode, while she's on her jog, she finds out that he has a wife. He has a whole wife. I was like, oh, I saw that coming, because he was acting like looking over his shoulder when he saw her, like, oh, hey, what you doing here? Married the whole time. Next, we have Bella. Bella is an Indian aspiring comedian, and out of all the cast members, she is the open hypersexual character. So like I said earlier, I didn't want to watch the show because I thought it was going to be all about sex. Bella is really just that character. She is that sex character. So I'm okay if it's dwindled down to one person, because if it was everybody, oh God. She's an aspiring comedian, and she is hoping to write for the Cotillion, which is the campus's improv newspaper, magazine, comedy. I don't know what the fuck it is, to be honest. It's like an improv club, but they write pieces and host shows or some shit, right? But after coming across the editor, she finds out that they're basically sexist, and they only have 2 female writers, and they're not looking for more. So what does Bella decide to do? Well, after being invited to this 20s Fitzgerald party, which, as a recent college graduate, mind you, I didn't go to a PWI, but we ain't had no 20s themed parties. Would I have been down? Yes, because I love themed parties, but I was like, what the fuck? Okay, all right. Let's roll with the flappers party. Let's do that. So after being invited to one, she runs into the other editors and decides to give them all hand jobs. And she gets into the cotillion. Lastly, we have Leighton. Like I said earlier, Leighton is the rich, stuffy white girl who gets stuck with the roommates that she have now, Whitney, Bella, and Kimberly, because her high school friends ditched her for being too private. They feel like they didn't know enough about her. They felt like they weren't really friends. And I'm not gonna lie, I have a friend like that. She's very secretive, very private, and some people are just like that. It doesn't mean we're not friends. It don't mean that I won't be there for you. I just choose not to disclose every piece of my life with you. So I think they kind of wrong for doing that. Anyhow, we also meet Leighton's brother, Nico, who's in the frat. He later invites his sister and her roommates to their party. So at the party, Kimberly, our small town Kimberly, she starts to talk to Nico, and they get a little flirty. Bella talks to the other girls that are in the cotillion and finds out that one of the dudes she jacked off, matter of fact, 2 of the dudes she jacked off were their boyfriends. So they hate her. The only other female writers hate her because she used what she had to get what she wanted. And Whitney hooks up with Kenan, who is, like I said earlier, Kimberly's co-worker, which I was like, yes, bitch, fuck with somebody your age, somebody your and make it do what it do. Like, you deserve way much better. Although I don't condone rebound sex, I was happy it was with somebody her age and someone I feel like she would have more in common with. And then finally, the shocker of the episode, the shocker of the season, the shocker that I did not see coming was Leighton. Leighton ditched the girls at the party to go to a casino. And she ends up hooking up with someone she met online. A beautiful, red-headed woman. Leighton is a lesbian. I did not see that coming at all. I was like, wow, they got me. And I usually pride myself on being able to kind of guess what happens before it happens. But this show was like throwing me things that I didn't expect. Which is one of the reasons why I was like, okay, when I left my homegirl house, I went home and I watched episode 2. So let's get into it. Episode 2 is the naked party. Now, Whitney confronts the coach, her coach boyfriend, about having a wife, and she was like, I'm the shit, you ain't shit, I don't ever want to talk to you again. And when I tell you, I was like, that's what I'm talking about, bitch. That's what I'm talking about. Like, we don't need him. You don't need him. You are that girl. Are you serious? You got fame, you have money, you're beautiful, you on the up and up. Like, you don't need him for real. So I was so proud when she did that. Let me continue. And if you already seen the episode, you already know what's going on. She also finds out that all of her teammates are getting together without her, and she wants to go make up with the girl who basically beat her ass on the soccer field. And while doing that, the girl and her boyfriend broke up with each other because the boyfriend said that her soccer schedule was way too busy. So the girl, I don't know her name, so that's why I keep saying the girl that doesn't like Whitney, and she indirectly ends up giving Whitney some advice about life. And Whitney took that shit to heart. This is what the girl said. She said, boys our age don't understand our schedules. And Whitney was like, bitch, no, I see what you thinking. I see what you thinking. Stop thinking that shit. I was so mad. I was so mad because you don't have to resort back to disrespect just because you think nobody else will understand your schedule. What the fuck? How about you date another student athlete then? Because both of y'all will understand each other's schedule, right? Let me fix my hair real quick. That don't mean go back to the dude who lied to you, who used you, and who was disrespecting you. Like, fucking. And she goes back to him. I'm sorry. Whitney made me mad this episode. Let's move on to Kimberly. Kimberly is not feeling so confident in her classes, French in particular, and she decides to ask Leighton's brother, Nico, to tutor her in French. We also hook up with Bella, and after she leaves her naked party, yep, that's a thing. Not at HBCUs. Ain't no naked party. We did have an anything but clothes party, but not a naked party. Anyhow, she apologizes to the girl whose boyfriend she had relations with, and they end up being cool. And then finally, we have Leighton. Unlike Kimberly, Leighton is doing very well in her classes. So well, in fact, that she asked the professor to brag about her in front of her ex-friends so that she could basically shit on them. She also has another random hookup with another random woman, and that woman schools her about being in the closet. She was like, why are you in the closet? I thought it was cool to be gay now. Like, how are you being yourself if you're not authentically being yourself? And Leighton admits that she doesn't want to be labeled. Like, she doesn't want to be my gay cousin, my gay sister, that gay sorority girl. She just wants to be Leighton. And I actually can understand that, because when you are gay, that is kind of what you become. As well as if you are like the token black person, that is kind of what you become. Like, you just want to be you without having that stigma attached to you. Like, she said she doesn't want her sexuality to define who she is, especially who she is to other people. But Leighton decides to dismiss that lady and all her commentary and goes drinking, where she eventually gets in trouble for vandalism. That about wraps up episode 1 and 2 of The Sex Lives of College Girls. If y'all watched this show, go ahead and drop a comment down in the box. How did y'all think about it? How did y'all feel about the first 2 episodes? Subscribe to my YouTube channel because I'm going to be doing episode by episode recaps until the season is over. And like this video, and I know what else to say, and I'll see you next time. It's a date.